Which cancelled TV show do you wish would come back? Bose Rome. They had a masterpiece on their hands and threw it away because the BBC wouldn't promote it and it was too expensive. If you haven't watched it, you're doing yourself a disservice even if you have no interest in Roman history. After what happened with Arrested Development, I'm okay with letting sleeping dogs lie. We wouldn't have Cinco de Cuatro without season 4, but yeah, the rest of it just didn't click with me. Tobias getting his rocks off was also a highlight. Ain't a start. Mindhunter edit, they stopped their actors' contracts and Fincher doesn't have anything in place for season 3. Quantum Leap. It didn't need world-saving storylines or famous people, though they did a few. It was just about ordinary people with regular problems. And it wasn't number 294 Cop Detective or Dr. Show. It was genuinely unique. It was cheesy at times, but always enjoyable. Edit, I scrolled and scrolled last night looking for this answer and was kind of sad not to find it. Then I wake up this morning and am happy to see many people agree. Thanks for all the fun awards too. Better Off Ted. Season 1, Episode 4, Racial Sensitivity. Pretty sure I've never laughed at a show as much as I did for this episode. Also, the Veridian commercials that played before real commercials were amazing. When my workplace rolled out mandatory fingerprint scanners instead of passwords, the scanners wouldn't recognize dark-skinned employees. And it wasn't just black people. It was Indians, Hispanics, and basically anyone who couldn't pass for a tan white person. Not a big deal for corporate testers. Headquarters is in a very segregated city and in the white part of town. For the first month it took someone 3 levels above store general manager to override the mandatory fingerprint and put them back on a password. After a month any manager could call it and set someone to a password instead. The company never acknowledged why this was changed. And there were never any official guidelines on when to change someone to a password. Why didn't they just hire white people to follow the colored people? Our workaround was in fact making white employees use a different finger to clock in and authorize non-white employees for everything. It was extremely tedious, but our workplace was small enough that following differently pigmented people was already happening on accident. 3 years later our CEO would be publicly shamed for using the N-word and booted from the company that was named for him. Wow, way to go for those guys for chopping off their fingers so that their coworkers could get in, though. Pushing Daisies edit, appreciate all the awards. I'm accepting them on behalf of the Pie Maker and Digby. So many unanswered questions. And so many good gags. And one poor dog who can't touch his favorite human or he'll keel over dead. One of the most tragic cancellations of all time emo. It was some of the best TV I've ever seen. A casualty of the writer's strike. I hope that there's not a similar effect on good shows now due to COVID. Freaks and Geeks, it was the James Franco Rogan squad before they made it big. Amazing show. Jason Segel has talked about because Apatow felt so bad that these kids had dropped out of high school and stuff, he spent weeks teaching Segel and Rogan and Starr and Franco how to write screenplays, literally teaching how to use the programs as well as the craft, and pitch ideas and get into other shows and movies. Really took them under his wing, and obviously that reaches pretty wide now. Gargoyles, it was a really good TV show but it got cancelled because there wasn't enough audience. That was because it aired late at night when children were already sleeping. It didn't always air late at night. I used to watch it on Saturday mornings and sometimes after school. It was just a really uniquely ambitious show at the time, with long multi-part story threads. That kind of format was trying to compete with Spider-Man, X-Men, and to some extent the Batman-Superman adventures, so the airwaves were kind of saturated and unfortunately, a unique IP like Gargoyles ended up getting choked out. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I like chocolate milk. I like cereal. I like chocolate milk. See, and I like potatoes. Courage the Cowardly Dog. Fun fact, Nowhere is based on an actual real-life town called Truth or Consequences in New Mexico. An elderly couple who lived there would often report paranormal things in their surroundings, until they both vanished with no trace, leaving their dog as the only survivor in the house. Thanks for the nightmare. They didn't return the slab. What's your offer? Eureka. I loved this show, hated to see it end. Was a good arc though. Miss all the good sci-fi shows like Eureka, Stargate, Warehouse 13, Sanctuary. I loved Warehouse 13 so flipping much. In terms of bringing it back though, since it was originally supposed to just be a limited series, I think it got a good run. Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. Almost Human. Carl Urban plays a detective in the future who has an android, human-like robot, partner. I really enjoyed the sci-fi twists on a procedural drama like 3D printed designer drugs. It ended on a cliff. Just another case of Fox canceling a good show. Edit, wow, my first award. Thank you so much. Reaper if anyone remembers it. Or Fringe if done well again. I feel like Fringe has a full run. It was forgotten quickly, but it at least told a complete story. Exactly. It would just get ruined if they tried to add to it. Now I need to rewatch Fringe. Hannibal. Brian's Fuller shows always got cancelled way too soon, Pushing Daisies, Dead Like Me, Hannibal and Wonderfalls. Fun fact: Hannibal and Wonderfalls share a character, same actress, same name, same profession, same wardrobe. Gretchen Speck. Celebrity Deathmatch. I enjoyed it a little too much. Edit, thanks so much for the upvotes and comments. And my first award. My Name is Earl. But if it hadn't been cancelled, then Bert wouldn't have kicked the NBC exec in the nuts and yelled that was for cancelling My Name is Earl and Raising Hope. Seriously, one of the most satisfying moments in television. Granted, I would have loved to see the story arc where Dave Chappelle is Earl Jr.'s real father. But still. Here's where being on Reddit forever pays off: the ending, as told by the show's creator, Greg Garcia. Thank you so much for this. This actually gives me so much closure. Clone High. Season 1 ended on a cliffhanger, and anyone who watched the show has never gotten over this injustice. Warehouse 13. I loved that show and Eureka. Sci-fi used to have great original shows. Eureka was the shit. I still get that catchy theme song stuck in my head sometimes. Man, I need to go back and rewatch some of those episodes. I love science fiction stuff. Warehouse 13 and Eureka hold up pretty well. Just rewatched both last year. Dead Like Me. Edit, wow, Mandy Patinkin, I hope it was you who gave me that gold. Jericho. Canceling this show after that awesome first season was, in a word, nuts. It did get a second season, but unfortunately its ratings were significantly down for a show that was already on the bubble, so it was gone pretty quick at that point. The second season was a short, half-hearted effort in response to a fan campaign to bring it back. It was never going to be enough to keep it going. But at least they got to wrap up a few storylines. Danny Phantom. Yo, Danny Fenton, he was just 14, when his parents built a very strange machine. It was designed to view a world unseen, has gonna catch 'em all cause has Danny Phantom. But something went wrong as folks they just quit, but then Danny took a look inside of it. There was a great big flash, everything just changed, his molecules got all rearranged. Phantom. When he first woke up he had realized, he had snowy white hair and glowing green eyes. He could walk through walls, disappear, and fly. He was much more unique than the other guys. It was then that he knew what he had to do. He had to stop all the ghosts that were coming through. He's here to fight, for me and you. He's gonna catch 'em all cause he's Danny Phantom. Gonna catch 'em all cause he's Danny Phantom. Gallivant. Edit, y'all, this blew up so much. Thank you, I had no idea this many people loved Gallivant. Watch a live interview last week with Tim and Karen, they're all open for more Gallivant. Since his stroke, he said he thinks King Richard should be carried around by his knight like Bran with Hodor. Edit, correcting King, no excuses. I love the bloopers where he's laughing while being spoon-fed going, I can't believe you all are paying me to do this.